Dear friends, we already discussed in the fifth lectures of the briefly as a glycolysis process. We have, dear friends, we also known about in simple way glycolysis is defined as the stepwise enzymatic breakdown of the hexose sugar, means glucose, into two molecules of pyruvate in cytoplasm. It is also known as a EMP pathway, means as a three German scientists, Embeden, Meyerhoff, Parnas, these three scientists has discovered by this process the glycolysis in the living organism body. That this process where simply to takes place by these 10 steps, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9 10. These are 10 steps are creating by this process. First time is the way I have already explained in the first lectures to glycolysis process, that is as a completely by the 10 steps. Also these net reactions of the completely the glycolysis process are carry on. We are starting the specific schematic or graphs to denoted this process or carry on as a specific process. That is the first we start from the process is glucose to one step 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. Last is a pyruvate. This process are also in briefly seen in this schematic slides as well as presentation. First process or first stage glucose plus ATP, it is yet converted. It is a schematic representation we already discussed about in the first slide of the lectures of the glycolysis process. As a simply the one first stage glucose plus ATP, adenine triphosphates, are converted into glucose 6-phosphate plus ADP. It is a glucose 6-phosphate. We already discussed as a specific enzymes or catalysts which are used as a hexokinase. In second step, glucose 6-phosphates are converted into the fructose 6-phosphate. At this time also use this process also as a reversible reaction, that is also specific enzymes which we use as a isomerase. In third step, this fructose 6-phosphates plus ATP are also converted to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate plus ADP. In this process also ATP are converted into the ADP, means one molecule of energy are utilized. In fourth steps, fructose 1,6-bisphosphates are also converted into the two processes, that is a GAP plus DHAP. It is the GAP long form is a glyceraldehyde 3-phosphates is the first. Second is the dihydroxy acetate phosphate. Dihydroxy acetate phosphate. This is a DAP. In a 6 steps, this is a one, that is a glyceraldehyde 3-phosphates plus NAD plus inorganic phosphates, which also convert into the also this process is a reversible process, that is 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate plus NADH. So this second process we also phase is a energy is produced and uppermost energy is utilized. This 7 stage of the glycolysis is a 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate plus ADP. It convert into the 3-phosphoglycerate plus ATP. In this process also utilize the enzyme is a phosphoglycerase kinase. Next is in a 8 number of the step of the glycolysis, 3 phosphoglycerates are converted into 2-phosphoglycerate. At this time also utilize the specific enzymes catalyze phosphoglycerol mutase. In a 9 steps, 2 phosphoglycerates are to converted into the phosphophenol pyruvate. It is a plus H2O. In this process also utilize the enzymes to enolase manganese plus 2 ions. We have a specific utilize. And last 10, this process of the phosphophenol pyruvate are converted into the pyruvate plus ATP. In this process, lastly, the one molecules are also form the energy. This energy is utilized for the to do works. So this glycolysis process is first starting from the glucose first stage to last end the 10 number step number 10, and also lastly steps is a convert into the pyruvate. This is a schematic representation of this glycolysis process in these charts. So this is a simple way as a briefly overall the glycolysis process are creating in these slides. All the steps in simply to explain the process will be start from the glucose to last end products are gained by the pyruvate. Also these are 10 steps also already explained in the charts as again to in the two charts. This process are formed by the lastly is a pyruvate. Also as a glycolysis in cytoplasm in schematic representation the last pyruvate it's formed in the end product of the glycolysis. It also utilized in the next second or third steps of the process of the carbohydrate metabolism is a citric acid cycle in the mitochondria, and next is also electron transport chain. This also use the form of the glucose to converted and utilized by the living organism. So also this is the glycolysis process are creating in your living organism body as a stage first glycolysis, stage second is a Krebs cycle, and stage third is the electron transport chain. This Krebs cycles and electron transport chains already explained the next lectures as a completely by the it is called as a Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle. Next in this topic, the total ATP production from one glucose molecules in your glycolysis process are completed. This three stage, that is first is net yields, how many complete of this process of the glycolysis and get the how many ATP in lastly to one molecule of the glucose to convert in lastly the 30 ATP are get or gain. In stage first ATP plus 2 NADS plus H ions it convert into 2 FADS2. 2 is called ETC, it is called electron transfer chain. In this process in stage first ATP to get 2 ATP in 2 NADS plus H ions it convert into FADS2. You will also get the 3 ATP molecules. In stage seconds conversion of pyruvate to coenzyme A. In this process 2 NADH plus H hydrogen ion plus to get the energy yielding 5 ATP. And in your stage third it is also called a TCA cycle. In TCA cycle ATP at one side is yielding to 2 ATP, NADS plus H at 3 steps to ETC are get 15 ATP, and FADS2 at one step to electron transfer chain get the 3 ATP. Overall of these 3 stage reactions or net gain yielding of the ATP molecules through total ATP from one molecule of glucose is equal to totally to sum of this all yielding the energy as a 30 ATP. So one molecule of glucose or is the end product to get the energy as a 30 ATP. So in this way, this is a simple way the glycolysis takes place or reaction is creating in the living organism body in this processes to get 30 ATP as a end product to get the energy. So in this way, next process that is the Krebs cycle as well as Cori cycle is also explained in the next period. So thank you. Stay home, stay safe.